Never forget, Trump couldn't name one Bible verse. And that's after years of being asked about it. You think his brain could hold 20 words just for a reflexive response when they ask you, what's your favorite verse? You think you would have one ready to go? Trump, I know you had one ready to go when they asked you where you was at last night. I know you. Then again, maybe he didn't. That's why you're on his third. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I'm Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
How much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon with the danger that entails.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Hey, Christian conservatives, look who y'all let walk into the church. And you know what? That's just as raggedy as he was when he walked into church during his first administration. Now, when they walk into church like that, that's all well and good as long as they're willing to listen. The problem is when they go up there grabbing the mic, trying to educate us, when they know they don't know no Bible verses, just up there making up stuff.
So the prayer is Caesar 25:17, and it reads, and pray with me, please.
The path
of the downed aviator is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of camaraderie and duty, shepherd the lost through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother. And you will know my call sign is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
I was just glad he didn't go to the book of fat soldiers. Because I know that was coming. Hoaxsters. We going to the book of hoaxsters. And the other crazy thing is you could get away with making up Bible verses faster than I can with my short sleeves. What's up with that? It's 85, 90 degrees outside. I can't wear a short set? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What?
Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, mother... From Candace Owens, this administration is beyond parody. Well, parody would be that 14-part series you did on Kamala Harris's ethnicity. That would be parody. But yes, this administration is certainly beyond parody. In fact, they've gone to self-parody.
Barack Hussein Obama is the Antichrist. A woman? Of course she's the Antichrist. A Catholic? Antichrist for sure. This woman is definitely, absolutely, without a doubt, the Antichrist. That's a doctor.
Now, you guys are well aware of Trump's post depicting himself as Jesus, but I'm not here actually to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the fallout and how it exposed the Christian conservatives. Now, I'll give some credit where credit is due. There were those that called him out for it. True Social is revolting on Trump bigly. I've never seen it this bad. It goes on and on. Equating yourself to Jesus, you'll burn in hell. Literal blasphemy. If MAGAs were actually Christian, WTF is wrong with you. You are the Antichrist. Christ is king, you demon. But wait! There's more. Take this down. You are sick. I've never regretted a vote more. You're mocking Jesus. MAGA is dead. Mocking Jesus now. I can't believe I voted for this traitor. I'm a solid Trump supporter and fan, but Trump is not Christ. And there was a ton of that from so-called Trump supporters because, again, this is from Truth Social. It be your own people, Trump. It be your own people. And don't get me started at what they said at the let out. You don't want to know what they said at the let out. It was worse than the break during Sunday school.
That's a disgrace. I'm very upset about that. I mean, how egotistical can you possibly be? I'm ashamed that he would actually do that. A man I voted for and trust.
However, there was blasphemy even amongst those that objected.
All right, Trump just posted this, and I've got to admit I'm pretty frustrated. Faith is not a prop, and we shouldn't laugh at it being used as one. There's innocent humor, and then there's this. You don't need to portray yourself as a savior when your record should speak for itself. Comparing yourself, even jokingly, to Jesus, it undermines the very value that many of us hold dear. This hands easy ammunition to critics. Instead of dominating the news cycle tonight on substance, it shifts focus to something completely avoidable. The same God who saved Trump's life when he was centimeters away from death in that field in Butler. The same God who opened doors nobody saw possible for him to be president not once but twice is the same God who sent his son Jesus to die on the cross, not for memes, but for our sins. He died for Trump just as much as he died for you and I. And there's not enough tweets, executive orders, peace treaties that can get us to heaven. It's faith in Jesus Christ alone.
Okay, where do I begin with this? Genesis? Let's start at Genesis. You said record? Record? What record? What record you talking about? What record you talking about? You talking about virtues that we hold dear? Like what? Like what would you describe? Let's see. Would his massive unpopularity would that be God's doing as well? Would that be God's will? How about this one? You said open doors that nobody thought possible. Racists did. They certainly did, as well as those adjacent to racists, which is how Trump found MAGA. So we all thought it was possible. We just didn't think anybody would sink low enough to weaponize your worst impulses. We all thought it was possible.
He's right, you know.
Oh, I got one more. You said, my faith is not a prop. My faith is not a prop. Oh, you mean like this?
Vice President Biden, he's against God, against religion, Bible.
The Bible means a lot to me. The Bible, it is the book. It is the thing.
What's my first favorite book? The Bible.
I believe in the Bible.
I brought my Bible.
I brought my Bible.
I brought my Bible.
It's a Bible.
One or two of your most favorite Bible verses are and why?
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into specifics. The Bible means a lot to me. And when you're starved, you can do anything. Grab them by the...
Never forget, Trump couldn't name one Bible verse. And that's after years of being asked about it. You think his brain could hold 20 words just for a reflexive response when they ask you, what's your favorite verse? You think you would have one ready to go? Trump, I know you had one ready to go when they asked you where you was at last night. I know you. Then again, maybe he didn't. That's why you're on his third. He didn't learn with Ivana or Marla Maples. He didn't learn where you was at last night. That's why he on his third. Okay, now I get it. And that also makes sense of why you couldn't get your explanations together.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going through some very serious cancer treatment, so
Yes, sir.
this goes a long way.
Yes, sir. It sure does.
Right? Thank you for the first time ever to the Daily Telegraph. This is the picture Donald Trump is referring to. Remember, Dick Littlejohn in the Daily Mail thinks the country should be led by this guy instead of Keir Starmer. But it's not the Daily Mail today, it's the Daily Telegraph to which we turn. This is the picture in which Donald Trump thinks, A, that he looks like a doctor, and B, that anybody who thinks that he looks like Jesus is lying because they belong to the fake news and they're trying to make him look bad. Unfortunately, nobody asked him why he then subsequently removed this picture. So he's looking at this picture and telling you that anyone claiming that he is being depicted as Jesus is a liar. That's what he's doing. He is looking at you and pointing at this picture and saying, if you believe anybody who tells you that I am Jesus in this picture, then they are mad, or I mean, that is the action of an abusive partner. That is gaslighting. That is, you know, telling somebody that you are abusing, that it's all in their mind and they must be going mad. Of course I'm not cheating on you, but that is absolutely the behaviour of an abusive partner. What you can see with your own eyes is not, so it's not funny, is it?
And what is it that that kind of partner would do in this situation where they gave you the nonsensical explanation is double down and attack you for not going along with it, would they not? Ain't that right, Riley Gaines? Earlier Monday, conservative activist Riley Gaines said she couldn't understand why Trump posted the image asking, does he actually like this? She added that a little humility would serve him well and that God shall not be mocked. When asked if he took the post down because of Gaines and other criticism, President Trump said, no, I didn't listen to Riley Gaines. I'm not a big fan of Riley, actually. I never thought that would eat my face. Oh, I never thought. Riley Gaines, I'm singing in trance. I'm singing in trance.
But wait, there's more.
Now, here's the part where Trump puts a clown suit on all of you because Riley Gaines fixed her face to say a little humility would serve him well. Trump. Trump, a little humility would serve him well. What you gonna suggest next? Exercise? I mean, a little humility would serve him well. You know, that's why we reacted to, oh, he lied about the no new war. That's why we clowned y'all for that. The man been out here a decade in and you pick one thing and act outraged. Like, what we talking about here?
Happy about the image of you looking like the Pope.
Oh, I see. You mean they can't take a joke? You don't mean the Catholics, you mean the fake news media. Not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it was AI, but I know nothing about it. I just saw it last evening. Actually, my wife thought it was cute. She said, isn't that nice? It's supposed to be me as a doctor.
Okay, so first of all, Catholics, he told y'all exactly where to go. Y'all loved it. Y'all loved it. He said y'all loved it. So, like the golden age of y'all loved it. I don't want to hear no more. He said y'all loved it. Now, here's one of my favorite aspects of the Trump experience, where people that try to make excuses for Trump get completely kneecapped because he can't keep a consistent message. That's right. Was it a joke or was it you being depicted as a doctor? Did you put it out? Did a staffer put it out? Did you see it? Did you think it was? He can't You out here making excuses based on one thing he say, and he gonna refute that whole entire thing. And here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing. As bad as this was, true to the Trump 47 administration, it gets worse.
We have the actual answer as to why Donald Trump described himself as a doctor, and I think it came out of a shit post. This is a satirical, sarcastic account, and they said that Carolyn Levitt was quoted as saying President Trump's Truth Social post depicting him as Jesus was a doctored image, because, like, obviously, right, we all know it wasn't a photograph. But here's where things get interesting. Manny replied, and he said, oh my God, was Trump told to tell the press that the image was doctored, but he misunderstood and told everyone that he was depicted as a doctor? Manny, I think you cracked the code. This would fit a pattern. If you recall, at the beginning of the Iran war, he went around describing it to everybody as a little excursion.
We did a little excursion. We had to take this little few weeks of excursion.
In all likelihood, because his team told him it was an incursion, or at least encouraged him to describe it as an incursion, but President Brain Damage heard excursion. And who could forget, in 2024, when he was campaigning for president, he described immigrants as being Hannibal Lecter, because in all likelihood, he heard the word asylum, and he thought that meant insane asylum.
People from insane asylums, and it drives them crazy. Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, absolutely. His team probably told him to go out there and tell the world that the image was somehow doctored, and so he went out there and told the world that he thought that he was a doctor. Listen, guys, if you are as literate as a caveman and you have dementia, good news. This is your time to shine.
Now that makes sense. I'll be honest. Him confusing doctor with doctored makes way more sense than actually thinking that it depicted you as a doctor. But MAGA, so help me with this. Is Trump arrogant and ignorant enough to legitimately think he could float that he was a doctor and that would fly? Or is he arrogant and ignorant enough to misconstrue doctor for doctored and just run with it and keep it pushing despite the mistake? Huh? Which door y'all want? Which door y'all want? And yes, this is the mind we have making decisions. The Trump administration has abruptly canceled an $11 million contract with Catholic charities to shelter and care for migrant children who enter the U.S. alone. Oh yeah, what was that? That I heard about virtues, my Christian values, that was it. And you know, I'm also old enough to remember, wasn't Nicki Minaj's excuse for going MAGA was a war on Christians? Wasn't that it? The war on Christians? She ain't saying nothing about this though, huh? They been quiet. They been real quiet. That's interesting. All the war on Christian people. You know, we're the war on Christian people. That's nuts. You know what I mean? I ain't heard from none of them. I tell you this, you better get on board. You see which way this wind is blowing, because he went at Pope Leo. He picked the wrong one.
You know, maybe President Trump is jealous of Pope Leo XIV because it is a blowout. It is a blowout, and this is just the American public at large, Sean. Look at this. It is a blowout in the net popularity rating. Pope Leo XIV at plus 34. Look at where Donald Trump is at minus 12. It's not even close. It's a nearly 50-point blowout amongst the American public at large. Pope Leo XIV absolutely crushing President Trump when it comes to how popular they are, at least as of the last month. And I will note that Pope Leo was the most popular person tested by ABC News. I believe the president is making a humongous mistake going after the most popular guy in America, at least well-known guy.
The question is, why is this man smiling here? How about among American Catholics?
Yeah, that's right. There's a reason why the Pope is smiling there. How about among American Catholics? President Trump is struggling with American Catholics. Look at this. Maybe this is part of the reason why he's going after the Pope. U.S. Catholics on Trump. You know, you go back to November of 2024. Look at this. President Trump crushed Kamala Harris by 20 points. But down he goes into the Dead Sea. Look at this, -4 points. That's a nearly 25-point switcheroo in the wrong direction. The president has been struggling with Catholics, and I must say, in my expert opinion, I'm not quite sure that going after the Pope is the way to recover with Catholics.
And look, we were just listening to that interview with Kate right there, and the Pope's stance on Iran is exactly what you would expect from a pontiff talking about war and peace here. What do Catholics in the United States, how do they feel about the military action?
Yeah, I mean, I think Pope Leo XIV, an American, is emblematic of Catholics here in America. Just take a look here. Take a look. Net approval rating among U.S. Catholics. U.S. military action against Iran, -10 points. Quite negative. You think that's low, though? Come over to this side of the screen. Trump on Iran. Look at this. They're even more sour on Trump. 20 points underwater. So the bottom line is this. The Pope is emblematic of Catholics here in the United States. The Pope is far more popular with the American public than Trump is here in the United States. And Trump has been struggling with Catholics here in the United States, very much so, losing a lot of ground, as you see right here, a nearly 25-point switcheroo. And this ain't going to help.
Now, I'll give credit where credit is due, MAGA. A lot of you guys have spoken up in defense of your faith. So now I will shift around to those that are still dancing to the worst music imaginable.
I don't think President Trump posted that. I think somebody else posted that. It's whatever the media wants you to believe is what gets posted most of the time.
Even though it's on his account. I mean, the media didn't post that.
Somebody else posted that. AI or somebody. President Trump didn't post that.
Huh. You don't think Trump posted that? It was AI or something that did the post? It was AI. AI made the post and then AI did the post as Trump himself? Now, do you attribute your love, any of your affinity for Trump to AI as well? The nonsensical reasons you would give me for still being on board with those? No, they wouldn't be. Those would be Trump. But what you don't like is AI and fake. Okay. So when they get caught out perpetrating a fraud, like DoorDash Grandma, was that AI too? DoorDash Grandma, was that AI? It's a grift, folks. It always has been. They shipped DoorDash woman to Nevada hearing last year. She's the MAGA paid prop. Everything they do is a con.
It's truly a independent, industry, and I enjoy that part of it. I like being able to, just do what I need to do.
McDonald's.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. I have your DoorDash order for you, Mr. President.
That's very nice. Look at this. This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
That's good. These are good. DoorDash is doing a good job.
I knew the DoorDash grandma was nonsense because she stayed there and had a conversation. I ain't never seen a DoorDasher do that. I ain't never seen. By the time I get my food, my DoorDasher be in Virginia. They be completely. By the time I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. They get the food there and they teleport. They be miles away. Seriously, that's how I knew it was nonsense. Another way that you might know that some of the explanations coming from this administration are nonsense are the fact that so little effort goes into the defense. Why are these posts nearly identical? Let's see, from Graham Allen and from David Harris. I don't believe President intended to depict himself as Jesus. He's a believer after all. I do appreciate. Wow. You know, my favorite part of those posts is that David Harris put personally. You put personally in front of a post that no effort. You could have dropped that in AI just to refigure something. You know what I mean? Y'all got gotta step into this new age, man. This is horrible.
And by no means will I ever regret my vote for Donald Trump.
Good morning, Patriots. That was Sister Chloe from the MAGA Costal Church, a true disciple of the Orange King. Today's daily devotional comes from Loyalations, chapter 1, verse 3. And it reads, "No matter what he says, no matter what he does, we shall never regret, for our decisions are eternal, and our minds are closed." Beautiful. You see, Sister Chloe has reached her fullest potential as a MAGA Christian, one who truly replaces critical thinking with unconditional devotion. And once you reach that level of devotion, facts can't touch you, evidence can't move you, and reality becomes, well, optional. Powerful stuff. Also, I want to speak directly to our sister in the congregation. Sister Chloe, I noticed in your caption that you use hashtag Latinos for Trump. And I just want to say, I too was once blinded, thinking my heritage played a role in my obedience to Don, until I realized that people like me were being deported. So I quietly removed those hashtags. I lightened my filters, stepped away from the mirrors, and I leaned fully to obedience. Because devotion is powerful, but reality has a way of making things complicated. That's the gospel.
And let's be clear about one thing. What would Trump have to do for you not to react this way, for those that are defending this? And the answer is there's nothing he could. We're talking about your faith right now from people with Christian and crosses in their bios. And if that answer is nothing, then what does your support actually mean? If you go as far as to say, I will never regret my vote, well, what's the significance of your support then? It's not actually based on anything from your own admission. And even worse, he has to do nothing in order to continue to warrant your support.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You have signed yourself up for the Summer Jam screen. Congratulations.
Look, I am 100% pro-life, pro-protecting the children. Full stop. End of story. Except for all of the kids that are being killed in the war. No. But yeah. Wait, oh, hang on. Also, except for the hungry kids, because I don't want my tax dollars going to feed children. Okay, that's it. Shit. Okay, also, except for like kids who keep dying in like school shootings, like 2A bitch. No, okay, no, I'm good, okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, also, except for all the girls that were in the Epstein files, because, I mean, they're women now, and my president told me it's a hoax. So, okay, that's it. Yeah, no. Fuck. Okay. And except for that one baby that my husband's mistress was pregnant with. Like, that was a necessary procedure. Okay, that's it. Pro-life, full stop. End of story.
So then I have to ask myself, for those that are still on board, exactly what are the virtues that you're holding on to that can keep you planted in MAGA today? Somehow we almost missed Fox saying teens age 15 to 19 not having babies is a problem.
We still have 3.6 million births a year, but the problem is teens and young adults. From ages 15 to 19, the fertility rate is down 7%, and it's down 70% over the last 2 decades, meaning we're telling people that are young not to have babies, to wait till they're in a more stable life situation, till they're more financially secure, maybe they haven't found the right partner.
Now that's interesting. That's interesting because I recall y'all using that kind of behavior to smear black and brown folks. Ain't that right? But now it's a problem from Fox News. I don't know what the faith is based on. Christian conservatives, y'all gotta help me out. Well, it's certainly not adherence to the Pope. I'm Catholic. This is not my Pope. Hey, Pope Leo, get security. Yeah, we got the third pew. Yeah. Well, I know we didn't used to need security before MAGA, but they be coming in crazy. You are not a Catholic if you do not accept the Pope, but rather schismatic. Canon 751, schism is the refusal of submission to the supreme pontiff, i.e. the Pope. Never seen someone get excommunicated by a community note. Oh, there is so much about this administration we've never seen before. Oh, look, another one. Pastor accused of abusing foster child had prior prison sentence commuted by Trump. Trump must not have seen the photo. Yeah, Trump must not have seen a photo. That was just a name on the paper. But I would like to elevate this beyond the MAGA parishioners to the clergy. Now, I already did a dedicated video on Paula White Cain. You guys should definitely go ahead and check that out. But if you recall, there was something she had to say about Trump that I want to explore.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God.
Keep that in mind. Saying no to Trump is like saying no to God. Any other clergy want to speak up on that? From Franklin Graham, I had received some questions about President Trump's recent posts, and here are my thoughts. I do not believe President Trump would knowingly depict himself as Jesus Christ. That would certainly be inappropriate. I'm thankful the president has made it very clear that this was not at all what he thought the AI-generated image was representing. He thought it was a doctor helping someone, and when he learned of the concerns, he immediately removed the post. And here you see him getting absolutely ate up in the comments.
They're about to drag you. They're about to drag you in these comments. In these comments. In these comments. Oh, they're about to drag you.
In fact, one of my favorites from the late Billy Graham, it would disturb me if there was a wedding between the religious fundamentalists and the political right. The hard right has no interest in religion except to manipulate it. Now, let me get this straight, Christian conservatives. So your defense of Trump is he would never depict himself as Jesus Christ, while maintaining that he is incapable of behaving in a way that you would find objectionable. Again, he would never depict himself as Jesus Christ, but he is also infallible. So he wouldn't depict himself as Jesus Christ, but y'all can. Got it. So you done saved his soul at the expense of yours. You know how raggedy that's going to look at the pearly gates? You know how raggedy that's going to look at the pearly gates? President Trump has been lobbing insults at Pope Leo in response to his criticisms of the war in Iran and appeals for peace, marking an unusually pronounced rupture between the leaders of the world's most powerful country and the world's largest Christian denomination. But Leo criticized the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts both before and after he was elected leader of the Catholic Church. He told reporters in November that the treatment of immigrants was extremely disrespectful, echoing the views of his predecessor, Pope Francis. Operation Epic Fury, which began on February 28 with joint U.S. and Israeli airstrikes in Iran, served as a catalyst for the ongoing exchange of words between the Pope and Trump. The day after the military operation began, the pontiff expressed deep concern and urged the warring parties to stop the spiral of violence before it becomes an irreparable abyss. His words grew sharper as the war continued, with Francis condemning Trump's threats to destroy Iranian civilization as unacceptable and urging citizens to contact the authorities, political leaders, and congressmen.
And they're going to go back filled up with oil. Okay?
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess. He hit us. Think of it. He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart and they were arrested. So we don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
So what I didn't understand, Christian conservatives, was that your faith actually came with a caveat that the leader of your preferred political party could never be at odds with your faith no matter what he does. And if that were to be the case, politics would certainly trump said faith. Well, you are free to run with that one. I told you that's going to run maybe a decade or two. It's definitely not through eternity. It ain't running through eternity. I can tell you. Well, hey, if it is, it's going to be hot. If it is going to be hot, I can definitely tell you that. You're free to do that. You're free to do that. However, y'all got to come up off them crosses. We going to come up off them crosses. We going to come up off them crosses. We going to come up off them Bible verses in the bios. And we definitely going to come off your religious explanations for suppression and discrimination and cruelty. We're going to come up off all of that. No need to just invent Bible verses for why you just want to be cruel to black and brown women, gay people, Muslims, whatever the case may be. Just say that's who you are inside. That's all right. And we knew that. You know, we knew that. It's fine. It's fine. It might actually bring you closer to the God that you misrepresent. The Pope's brother just received a bomb threat at his home. This comes after Donald Trump publicly attacked Pope Leo. Trump attacked the Pope. Then someone threatened to bomb the Pope's family. The same pattern as MTG, whose children received death threats after Trump called her a traitor. Trump attacks someone, their family gets threatened every single time. MAGA. You think it's a trans person? You think it's a trans person? You think it's a Democrat? You think it's a communist? Huh? You think this is black crime? Is that what you think? Would you bet on any of those? No, we're not going to bet on any of those. Oh, here's one. You think it's a Muslim? Huh? You think so? Because you love to characterize them as religious fanatics. They're religious fanatics. Now look at you. They're bombing the Pope's family now. MAGA is a terrorist group. Oh, yeah. Pretty much checks all of the boxes that you love to weaponize towards other people. Good luck explaining that away. But in this instance, you can't use the Bible. No, you can't. I don't know. Maybe you could justify this using the Trump Bible, but nothing that's in the actual Bible, which honestly, that might be half the Trump Bible, if we're being honest. So good luck with that. Hey, Pete Hegseth probably can help you. I'm sure he got you. Post got Pete Hegseth. They move fast, don't they? Man, they move fast. I don't know. Hey, they gonna be clowning Pete when he walk in the church. I can tell you that right now.